Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you the medal exchange for February 2022. So this is a bit of an interesting one. They made two controversial changes, and I will be talking about them, so I'm going to tell you about them right at the start here. So the first one being that they are limiting the amount of legends that are going to be in the 250 medal and 150 medal categories, but they are adding special time units every single medal exchange now. So it's a bit of an interesting one. It kind of sucks that they're limiting the amount because it was nice having a large selection to choose from, but now it's super limited. And these units are pretty trash that they're adding to the special time category. For 100 medals, they don't feel worth it at all. Like Margaret's special ability is absolute rubbish. She just changes orbs randomly. And Mantri's a bit better though. She gives bind despair and a paralysis reduction by 3 turns. So she's not a terrible buy, but if you don't have a surplus of medals, then just don't get these units. I don't recommend it at all. I might pick up Mantri, I don't know. But let's get into the medal exchange characters. Oh yeah, I forgot about the other thing. So the other thing that they're doing is they're limiting the amount of times you can buy each unit. So they've made it so that you can only buy 400 medal characters once, 250 medal characters twice, and 150 medal characters 3 times. So unfortunately this means that you cannot Rainbow Bonnie's Hunger. So a lot of people have decided to buy full copies of Bonnie to Rainbow Hunger since the tablets are so scarce. But unfortunately you can only buy 400 medal characters once, so you can only get 1 copy of Bonnie, unfortunately. Same goes for all these other 400 medal characters. I don't know why you'd want to buy extra copies of all these other units. They don't have any special potential abilities. But it's interesting to see where they're going to go also with these special time units, because a lot of people are speculating that they will add like limited time units like Odin to the medal exchange for like 600 medals, which honestly I'm all for, because if they add units like Kizuna special legends like Sanji Pudding, I would definitely buy them, because I don't have a lot of those Kizuna units. So that'll be interesting to see how they go in terms of that. But I really think that it's kind of the medal exchange has become worse now after this update, because just limiting the amount of units that are in the medal exchange and limiting the amount of times you can buy said units is a lot more restrictive. And the fact that they being so restrictive with the medal exchange sucks, because it's already a neglected feature part of the game already, so it kind of sucks that they're making it worse. And we deserve to have freedom of choice of the legends that we get from here, because we're throwing a lot of gems to get these medals. I mean, you have to do 40 multis to get 400 medals, so that sucks. But anyways, let's start with the tier list. So for the 150 medal characters, quickly I'm just going to go through it. This unit's version 2 Rayleigh, he's actually a decent buy, especially with his new 6+. He's a unit that nobody really uses, but he actually does provide a decent amount of things in his special, and for 150 medals is not too bad. Off the top of my head, he gives you a 3 times chain lock, a 2 times universal attack boost, and he changes a few random orbs into matching. So he doesn't provide amazing boosts, but he does give a lot, so that's awesome. And he's also decent in PvP, so considering PvP is definitely a good buy for Dex PvP teams. Now moving on to the next one, the next 150 medal character, which is this Usopp. So definitely don't buy this unit. He's trash. He is a just don't unit. Also, I'm lagging a lot here, unfortunately. So he literally just gives you delay. He gives you 6 turns of delay, I believe, if the enemy doesn't have immunity. If they do though, he gives 1 turn through immunity. So he doesn't even give a delay attack proccing attack boost. So he literally just gives delay. He's such a terrible unit, a bad captain ability as well. So just don't buy this unit. If you have a surplus of medals and this is one of the only old legends you're missing, then I guess it's not a terrible choice, but just don't in terms of usage. Moving on to Cracker, I'd say he's a yeah, for 250 medals he's a good buy, because he provides a chain boost and a affinity booster, and I think the affinity boost is to most characters, so that's awesome. So if your character has a primary class, he gives you a chain boost, and if they have a secondary class, then he will give a affinity boost. So that's pretty cool. He gives a chain boost and an affinity, which is awesome to just have on your team. He just fulfills two roles, being a chain booster and an affinity booster. So that's awesome for quick Kizuna teams. I used him quite a bit. He also has a decent support, but hasn't been really used much. Moving on to the 250 middle characters. So, oh wait, well, we already discussed one, but the next one is Bartek Cavendish, which is a just don't unit in my opinion. He's never used. He is a unit that can be used. He has a decent swap effect still, but the fact that he's also mono driven just makes his character so much worse. He is an outdated captain, and honestly not an amazing special. But I'd say he's a niche buy. I mean, for 250 medals, I don't think it's worth it. But if he was 150 medals, I'd say he's worth it in terms of niche buys. So moving on to the 400 medal characters. So starting with Snake Man, he's definitely a must-buy unit. Just being a universal captain, a 5x attack booster to strength units, and still 3.75x to other types. Being how old he is, 5x is still insanely good for how old he is. And he also gives you a 2.5 times universal ore boost, which is amazing. His super type is also awesome. The condition is also easy, just one of the straw hats. And it gives a 2 times attack boost and some universal damage. So that universal damage is actually really good, because even on treasure map when he's not boosted, I run him as a double captain against the Dex mini bosses, and he just his super type just clears the fodder mob stages on stage 1 and 2. So he's just awesome, fulfilling those positions already on his own team. Even if he's not boosted, he's still an amazing fast unit to use in treasure map. Anyways, I digress. Moving on to the next unit, which is Sabo, who released alongside Luffy. So honestly, Sabo's a niche buy, because if his affinity was universal, I'd say he's a good buy. But the fact that I think Cracker's a better unit to have, and Sabo costs basically almost 2 times the amount, so I just don't think he's worth it. He's only mono strength in terms of his color affinity, and his chain boost is only after 1 turn. If his chain boosts over 2 stages, he'd be a lot better. But he just gives a 2 times color affinity over 2 turns. That's limited to strength, and then that 1.0x chain boost after 1 turn. So overall, he doesn't provide a lot. As I said, if he was universal affinity, he'd definitely be in the good buy category, but he's a unit you're not going to be using a lot. Moving on to the next one, which is Blackbeard. So usually I'd say he's a just don't unit, but honestly he's probably a niche buy just because of his use in the recent Super Boss Kizuna. But there's obviously the chance that they patch so let me just explain. So last Super Boss Kizuna, you could use a Blackbeard health cutting team, so that was pretty awesome. So if your Super Boss is on like 100 billion health, then he just gave a 10% health reduction, which makes it so that you can do 10 billion damage as soon as you enter the stage. And you could also use him in tandem with Last Step Law to get even more damage. So that was awesome. You could just do a lot, but you could only do it against the quick mini boss, because that was the only one that didn't have the buff, which didn't allow for health cuts. So they're probably gonna patch that in the next Super Boss Kizuna. So honestly, he's a just don't unit, because he's not gonna be used anywhere else besides these wacky teams that are honestly probably gonna be patched. They're never gonna be used again. I doubt they're gonna just overlook that. Anyways, moving on to the final character of the video. So this is the one that most people are going to buy, since she has never been in the medal exchange. So this is super type Bonnie. So honestly, must buy, I don't know. I feel like she's like the int version of Snake Man. But honestly, I feel like I get way more usage out of Snake Man. I don't ever use this unit. Because unfortunately Bonnie doesn't have a HP boost in her captain ability, so that just makes her a lot worse. But she does have a lot of healing, so that kind of makes up for it. She basically has the same attack boost in her captain ability as Snake Man, boosting int by 5x if they have recovery. and 3.75x the other types. Her special does provide a lot though, giving a 3 times chain lock, changing a block and a few other orbs into recovery, which she counts as matching, and you can obviously heal from those orbs. And she also gives a 2.5, I think it's her attack, insta-attack boost varies based on how many recovery orbs you've consumed in the stage, so that's awesome. Unfortunately though, it's the fact that it depends on the amount of orbs you've consumed kind of makes it kind of eh. But she does give a lot, so that's awesome. I forgot what she does in a super type, but I don't think it was anything significant. I think she reduces like a no heal or something like that. So I guess that's useful for a character since you want to be healing. But overall, she's not a unit you need. And obviously, if you don't have a hunger max, then you can get her for 400 medals and just get one hunger ability. But unless you have a lot, and I mean a lot of medals, then don't waste 400 medals, which is equivalent to 40 multis for one hunger ability. So that's just my take on things. But I hope you found the video helpful, and I don't think that the medal exchange is getting better with this new updates, but it'll be interesting if they add limited time units, then limited time legends, then I think it'll be going in the right direction. But we'll see, and I hope the developers make the right decision, because it takes quite a while to stockpile these medals, especially if you're a free to play character. So I hope they make the right decisions. Anyways, that's it for the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.